Coming up on Look Today, well, 1,500 people took part in the Women's March this past Saturday in Glens Falls. I've got details. And the town of Lake George moves ahead with construction of a Veterans Memorial. More on that coming up. And the AWE district in Glens Falls looks for future arts grants. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Darlene Hayes, and she's the chair of the board for Warren County SPCA, and we're joined by Sheila O'Connor. She's a fundraising coordinator. They're here to talk about SPCA's open house and animals that are up for adoption. That's coming up this weekend. And I also sit down with Morgan Burnett and Kevin Box. They're from Muscular Dystrophy Association. They're here to talk about a unique fundraiser happening on February 8th. Plus, we've got your weather for these crazy Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, a social movement has started in support of women's rights in our community. An estimated 1,500 people marched in Glens Falls over the weekend. The demonstration is in response to recent national legislation proposing to cut funding to organizations such as Planned Parenthood. Well, many are concerned about the future of women's rights in our local communities. We spoke to Enid Mastriani. She's an organizer of the march.
Well, that's it. It's to show solidarity, to feel like you're not alone. There's a great deal of camaraderie. People chit-chat on the march. They have great fun singing and chanting, and it makes everyone feel like they're not alone.
Not alone. In other news, well, the town of Lake George is moving ahead with a proposal to construct a Veterans Memorial on Route 9. Now, this is part of the current Lake George Gateway construction project. The project will cost roughly $30,000. The monument will be 3 black granite structures lined up in a row. Well, we spoke to Dennis Dickinson. He's the town supervisor for Lake George.
The veterans are important to us. They're a significant part of our history, and it's a chance for us to honor the veterans. We're pretty excited about it. It's a different kind of monument. It is dedicated to the area veterans. They don't necessarily have to be from Lake George.
What a wonderful idea. All right, switching from news to weather. Crazy weather. After a night of freezing, rain, sleet, more snow, we expect that we'll get more tonight. So let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. As we jump into our first look weather center, well, overnight we saw some rain and sleet, snowfall mixing in, limiting our snowfall total somewhat. We're continuing to watch this low pressure area still spinning up some more wet weather before it completely exits the region tonight. And high pressure does its best to try to work back in. However, not really clearing us out, at least for the short term. We're continuing to watch that low just offshore. We're continuing to watch temperatures around or below freezing across the northeast. So a good chunk of this will continue to slowly change back over from a wintry mix back to snowfall tonight. So going to start off with some sleet and rainfall into the mix. And then as we slide into the 20s, as the system exits, we'll see some light snowfall mixing back in, and a north breeze still cooling us back down with wind chills, feeling like it's back down to as cold as 22 to 25 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies for the daytime Wednesday, high 38 degrees, a little bit of sunshine to make things feel at least a little bit nicer. But as we start the day off, we're going to continue to bundle back up. We'll walk out the door, get ready for our commute, about 28 to 31, and it'll feel like it's in the low 20s with a bit of the breeze. Over the next couple of days, we're going to continue to watch a slight surge in temperatures. For Thursday, high 41 degrees. As that next frontal boundary pushes in and out, we'll see yet another cool down with Friday's high 34th and lower 30s, in fact below freezing all day for both Saturday and Sunday. So some colder weather definitely back in the picture as we head into the weekend. Well, that's it from the First Look Weather Center. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Well, thanks, Bran. Boy, what a mix-up of weather. It looks like tomorrow morning's commute is not going to be great either, but toward the end of the week, it's looking pretty good. All right, back to the news. Here's an interesting story. Glens Falls is developing the Arts, Wellness, and Entertainment District in Glens Falls. Now, it's part of the $10 million revitalization grant that the city recently received. Now, some of that grant will be allocated toward nonprofit cultural and arts organizations. The AWE district, as it's called, will also apply for arts grants in the future. Now, we just got word of this, so we're going to have updates as we get more information, and we will be speaking with the Hyde Collection in Glens Falls. Up next, I sit down with Darlene Hayes. She's a chair of the board for Warren County SPCA, and we're joined by Sheila O'Connor. She's a fundraising coordinator. They're here to talk about SPCA's open house and animals that are up for adoption this weekend, plus a special guest. Plus, I also sit down with Morgan Burnett, Kevin Box. They're from the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They're here to talk about a unique fundraiser that's happening on February 8th. Unique being the operative word in that sentence. Wait till you hear it. But first, you see news happening. You want to share a story idea? How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple of lookouts for tonight. That wonderful interview I did with SPCA, I forgot to mention the hotline phone number. So I want to give it to you now. It's 793-4048. 793-4048. And that's a hotline so you could call and find out more about SPCA, the event that's coming up this Saturday, and also maybe ask some questions about the animals that are up for adoption, including that beautiful female Piper that joined us for the interview. She needs a home. Also tonight, brand new Queensbury Town Board meeting. Oh, and just another quick sidebar. I had lunch today with the president of SPAC, Elizabeth Sobel. Boy, there are a lot of nice changes coming to SPAC, and we're going to be very involved in it, I hope. So we'll keep you informed. But what a wonderful lunch, and like I said, a lot of nice changes coming to SPAC this year. All right, tonight, as I said, brand new Queensbury Town Board meeting, and don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.